area, but it's like an open.
Do we just want to start explaining how this whole place is set up? Because that might be the easy to lay the groundwork.
Yeah, that's probably the easiest way. Yeah. So it is kind of a mall area in that it's like a square area.
It's not like private, closed off to the public, but it's pedestrian only.
But it's open air.
Yeah, but it's open air. It's between High Street, which is like on one side, and then there's another sort of alley behind there, and there's like a block long thing, which is kind of mall-like with a lot of bars.
Open plaza-ish.
Yeah, like a plaza.
And restaurants.
It's wider than a street would be.
Yeah, pedestrian only.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. You can go to it on Street View. It's got all kinds of cool stuff, shops and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Ugly Tuna Saloon is on the second floor of one of these buildings.
Yeah.
And this is very important because it means there's just one way in and one way out. And that way was under surveillance.
Yeah.
There's a set of stairs and an escalator that goes up and an escalator that goes down.
And that is all fully covered by the eye of the camera.
And it's fully covered by one not moving eye of the camera. You can see everybody who walks up and down the stairs. You can see everybody who comes up and down the escalators. And unlike most surveillance cameras, this one's pretty HD.
Pretty high tech, yeah.
You can definitely, I was watching, the way that I got to see the surveillance footage was from somebody pointing a camera at their TV at whatever the NBC Dateline, whatever it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. And I could still very clearly identify the person as Brian Schaefer. That you could see kind of being tracked on this. No red circles or anything like that. So if it was good enough through the 5 steps of somebody filming their TV with something and then uploading it onto YouTube, definitely.
Yeah, I think most of us are used to the security cameras that take
on an ATM or something,
2 or 3 second stills. After 2 or 3. No, this thing was shooting continuous video.
Yeah, yeah. There is a back emergency exit on the first floor. I'm not totally clear how one accesses that emergency exit, but I will say that emergency exit, I believe, is rigged to alarm when opened, which sometimes malfunctions, or they might have turned it off because it might have also served as a loading dock.
Like the way for the band to get in and out?
It's possible. It's unclear, but possible. And there's a motion sensor camera back there as well that turns on anytime there's any motion back there. And then it's reportedly zooms in kind of where a reasonable range of a head would be, so you can see a face of whoever is coming out. Because, you're not supposed to use those exits but for emergencies.
So they want to know. But I had heard also there was an employee exit on the south side of the bar.
That is, it's my understanding that is the employee exit.
Yeah.
That goes to that emergency exit down there.
So it's like stairs that go to the emergency exit on the ground floor. Okay.
Right, but I don't really I don't know if it's you have to go through, the kitchen and the bar and 3 other rooms to get to that staircase, or if it's just through some curtains that say emergency exit. I don't know.
Yeah, this is the difficulty is they haven't published a floor plan.
It would be nice to have one of those.
Yeah, that would be great. Google, would you get on that?
Yeah, really.
Mapping the bottom of the ocean, but they won't map the inside of a bar.
I know.
Well, it's just kind of like the bottom of the ocean. It's the Ugly Tuna Saloon.
Good point.
Also, as Joe kind of briefly mentioned before, at the time of Brian's disappearance, there was also a number of construction exits in that building as well. So you come up, to the Ugly Tuna Saloon.
Second floor.
On the second floor, and, there's kind of an entryway area. It's not just straight to the doors. There's a little bit of a...
It's got an open atrium kind of area.
A little bit. It's not huge.
There's a theater off to your left, right? And then there's a hallway ahead of you, I think.
I don't think the theater's on that one. No, the
I don't
theater's
think
in a
so.
different
Theater
area.
on the first floor?
I think...
Yeah.
All I've seen is somebody posted a video, and it's another one. The feds, if Congress wants to do one useful thing, they can ban portrait videos. So somebody doing the whole freaking holding my iPhone up, doing a portrait video, riding up the escalator to the top at the Ugly Tuna.
Yeah. Well,
so you can see what it looks like. The bar's off to the right, straight ahead. There's a short, wide hallway, that maybe goes to bathrooms or storerooms or God knows what. And there's something off to the left. You can't really tell. It looks kind of mall-like.
So from the camera angles, from the surveillance camera angle, The escalator comes right up. There's like a wall that it comes up, and it goes straight into the Ugly Tuna Saloon, basically. There's like a little, I don't know what to really call it. I guess atrium is a fine thing. And then, so the camera's looking down towards the outside. The security camera. So the escalators are coming up on the, what would be the right side, but is on the left side. And then the stairs are on, like, right next to it, to the right. And then the construction area is further to the right.
Yeah.
So it would be to the left.
So I think what Joe was describing...
But it may be that it was post-construction.
Right. I think you guys might be talking about the same thing.
Yeah, and again, I'm not really clear on what kind of construction they're talking about, because like when this is kind of a mall, and in a mall there's the original construction where you pour concrete and everything and put on a roof, and then there's always when some tenant leaves and you rip out the walls and you reconstruct the whole thing. You've seen that going on in malls, right?
Yep.
So is that the kind of construction we're talking about? Are we talking
I'm not
about
clear.
A serious heavy duty concrete slabs kind of?
Not clear.
Yeah.
Unclear.
Okay.
But through this construction site, which I understand was kind of hard to navigate even in the light, and, had lots of construction-y hazards.
Actually, now that I think about it, whoever it was, Dateline or whoever it was, showed some footage of the quote-unquote construction-y area, and it almost looked like a back section. You know how you see where there's all the pipes for like malls, all of the plumbing runs through one area?
Yeah, but I wasn't clear if that was
I was going to say, I don't know if that's actually that site or not, but it really gave me the impression that it was more of they were doing construction on that internal plumbing stuff and not a tenant's location like you were talking about, Joe.
Okay.
But regardless, it's the only way in or out of this whole area is through that one camera surveillance thing, or through the construction zone at the time that Brian Schaefer went missing.
Probably that's because they'd torn out a wall and hadn't built a new wall.
But it was full construction zone, plywooded off with like a door into it, and then tons of hazards.
Somewhere you don't want a drunk to go wandering, basically.
Exactly, yeah. And one that you would presume would be locked at night when it's like nobody needs access to it. But
you would think so. Maybe somebody had a key.
Yeah.
So the guys arrive back at the Ugly Tuna Saloon.
Yep, at midnight. Back to the tracking thing. They arrive back to the Ugly Tuna Saloon at about 1:15 a.m.
Okay.
According to the surveillance camera footage that I was watching, the timestamp on it, and the reporting. Though I guess they were bar hopping with Meredith a little bit before they came back to the Ugly Tuna Saloon.
Or they drank with Meredith wherever.
Yeah. Right. That's what I mean. And then about 40 minutes later, Brian is seen on the same surveillance camera at the top of that stairs escalator area. Like I said, the quality is really good. You can see it's definitely Brian there.
He looks a little intoxicated in
his
movements.
He does, but he doesn't look like sloppy drunk.
But he
does not look sober.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's been drinking for 4 hours.
Yeah.
So,
he's definitely been drinking for 4 hours.
Yeah.
But he's not like, falling all over himself. He's still able to walk and
he's able to hit
talk
on the ladies.
and apparently not be so drunk, because there are also 2 security guards standing at the top of the stairs. So he's not so drunk that they felt like they needed to intervene.
Yeah, I noticed that in this video I was just telling you about. You go up there and there's a security guard standing right there. It's like, what a great job that must be. But they got him right there.
Yeah.
Is that so they can see the drunks coming right up the escalator and just intercept them before
I have
they
no
even
idea.
get to the bar and turn them around and shove them right back down the downstairs?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I really don't. But yeah, there were 2 security guards up there. And then there are 2 young women that he can be seen talking to. And there's a group of guys as well, kind of off to the side.
Some people milling about.
Yeah. And some people say, oh, these guys followed him in and beat him up. But they seem to be standing there. They don't seem to be making movement to follow him or anything.
Acknowledge his existence.
Yeah, but he talks to these 2 young ladies for a minute, and then he walks back into the bar, and that's the absolute last time that anybody has ever been able to say they've seen Brian Schaefer. Officially. Well, not officially. It's the last time that anybody's ever come forward and said they saw Brian
officially
Schaefer.
As in on tape, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Well, yeah, I mean, but nobody's ever even claimed to really see him after that. I mean, that's the last time that anybody's ever said anything about Brian Schaefer existing in this world.
Mm-hmm.
that's so that he's
so
on
that
camera
was at 1:55 a.m.
But this would be before he went to talk to the band, right?
I don't know. That's unclear.
Okay,
the
yeah,
band
you're right.
conversation could have happened.
That could have happened before
that.
Yeah,
yeah. So it was my impression that Meredith and